It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the midday news bulletin on 3FM 92.7. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. The bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. We're live also on all our social media platforms at 3FM 927. Coming up this afternoon, pressure mounts on government to take a second look at law allowing mining in forest reserves following revelations. The Mineral Commission has rejected a request to allow mining in the Kakum Park. Meanwhile, tension continues to mount between Forestry Commission Task Force and illegal miners in a forest reserve. Also, this afternoon, the minority members of Parliament condemn Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Penyo marking over comments suggesting National Security Minister is no longer required to appear before the House to respond to questions of brutality meted out to some residents of Garo. We have details of these stories and a lot more coming to you shortly. Please stay with us. Welcome to the program. Let's get into the details of the stories. This afternoon, the Minerals Commission may have denied granting permits to mine at the Kakum National Park as requested by High Street Limited, but questions over the state's plan to protect its natural forest vegetation has come to the fore once again. Now, initial details from the permit request indicated a plan by the mining firm to have access to some 24% of the reserve for mining, a development which sparked outrage from civil society organizations as well as a cross-section of Ghanaians on social media demanding answers. Well, the Minerals Commission has, in a statement, denied granting the license. Let's join my colleague Duke Mensah Opoku, who has a copy of the statement from the Minerals Commission. Duke, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Talk to us about the content of the statement from the Minerals Commission.
Reading this verbatim, the attention of the Minerals Commission has been drawn to publications on social media that some civil society organizations in the country have vehemently kicked against the attempt by a mining firm to mine in the Kakum National Park in the central region. According to the CSOs, the move follows an application by the High Street Limited to the Minerals Commission for a license to mine the Kakum National Park. The Commission wishes to inform CSOs and the public that the application by High Street Limited was rejected, therefore cannot be processed or considered whatsoever. Consequently, the Commission has deleted the application from the online mining cadastre. The Commission wishes to assure the public that no mineral right, whether for prospecting or mining, shall be considered or granted in the Kakum National Park. Signed, Martin Kwekweisi, CEO, Minerals Commission.
So this is from the Minerals Commission, but the Kakum National Park itself, why has this issue aroused a lot of public interest?
Well, the Kakum National Park is a park of interest, an ecotourism destination hub for many people. So, coming on the back of the fact there's another Sino-Hydro deal where the Atiwa forest is also being mined.
Right.
People are raising certain concerns and questions in relation to that. So that is what has aroused this public interest in this matter.
Duke, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Duke Mensah Opoku brought us a excerpt of the statement from the Minerals Commission denying granting permit to mine at the Kakum National Park as requested by High Street Limited, but questions over the state's plan to protect its natural forest reserve of vegetation has come to the fore once again. Let me talk to you about the Kakum National Park. It was created in 1925 as a forest reserve. Now, that is how old the park is. Then in 1992, the Kakum Forest Reserve was reclassified as a national park. That happened in 1992, and the protected area covers 360 kilometers square meters. Now, second most visited site with 136,256 tourists in 2022. Talking to you about the massive tourism potential and to think of somebody wanting to prospect or mine in that forest, raising a lot of questions. In March of 1995, the Kakum National Park became home to the only canopy walkway on the African continent. Again, its greatness when it comes to the tourism potential in the country. Let's speak with Awula Sewa, an environmentalist. She's joining us at the moment with some updates, some perspectives on what exactly the situation is. Awula Sewa, the National Coordinator for Pro-Environment Group Eco-Conscious Citizens. Awula, thank you so much for joining us on the program. This is not the first or last time an attempt by a company has been made to try to mine in a natural reserve. Did this surprise you at all?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Sadly, nothing surprises me any longer. Either we are declassifying parts of Achimota Forest or we are building in green belts. I mean, nothing surprises me. There's been recently encroachments in parks and gardens land in Wa. So nothing surprises me right now.
The Minerals Commission says the application was rejected and the park will not be giving out for mining. Is this statement assuring enough or you want more?
Well, one might ask why was the application even entertained? It wasn't until CSOs mounted pressure. You know, Arocha Ghana, Nature Development Foundation and other CSOs. It was only after they mounted pressure. In fact, they had a meeting on Thursday. We were represented. We had a meeting on Thursday. And this was discussed, including LI 2462, a retrogressive law which should be repealed. And it was only after the pressure that the Minerals Commission came out to say that there will be no mining in Kakum National Park. So you should ask yourself, why was the application not rejected the same day it was filed? Had it not been for the pressure from the CSOs, would the Minerals Commission be telling us that there will be no mining taking place there? These are the questions that we should be asking ourselves.
So you are of the opinion that had it not been the pressure that was mounted by CSOs on the Minerals Commission, we could be telling a different story by now.
I'm under that impression, and the impression is fortified by the fact that since the passage of LI 2462, there's been so much going on. So many forest reserves have come under siege. It's like everything is a no-go area. And I'm sure you are aware that LI 2462 also allows mining in globally significant biodiversity areas, even though we signed treaties and so on and so forth. So we are of the opinion that had it not been for the formidable advocacy by the CSOs, we would be not having this conversation. It would have gone on. So we congratulate the CSOs and the media who highlighted the campaign, including yourself. And we say shame on anybody who would think of mining in a national park. I mean, the mining company that brought the application, shame on them. They shouldn't have thought about it. And the Minerals Commission that entertained it until the intervention by the CSOs, we say we're very, very disappointed.
Awula, you mentioned the LI that is at the center of this conversation. There are laws prohibiting mining in forest reserves. Are these laws robust enough to guarantee the safety of these reserves? And how long, plus how far, have efforts to get them amended gone?
Well, unless we repeal LI 2462, we are going to have mining in forest reserves, including, as I've just said, globally significant biodiversity areas, because this retrogressive law undoes any good that has been done in the past and virtually allows unfettered access to our forest reserves. The areas that were no-go areas, this LI has opened them up. So it is very disappointing that in this time that we all are hearing about climate change, about the importance of our forests, about biodiversity, the importance it holds to life on Earth. It is just unbelievable that any responsible set of people would pass a law that allows virtual unfettered access to our forest reserves. And that's what LI 2462 does. And that is why, after it was passed, somebody had the brilliant idea of wanting to mine in Kakum National Park. I mean, unbelievable. Which mining company would even dream of mining there? It was entertained by the Minerals Commission.
Awula, thank you so much for joining us on the program. We've been speaking with Awula Sewa, who's the National Coordinator for Pro-Environment Group Eco-Conscious Citizens there. Let's speak with us, our Central Regional Correspondent, Thomas Khan, joining us from the Central Region. This is the region where the National Park is at and home to a lot of other activities there. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us on the program. This conversation has generated a lot of reactions, mainly bastardizing the Minerals Commission, plus the mining company that intended to mine in the Kakum National Park. But for residents in the Ashanti region, those around the Kakum National Park, how are they taking this news?
Yes, Crosby. So this news, to some who have heard about it, is coming to them as a surprise, and they are shocked about the whole development. And some of them are saying that, they know the stories of the Tiwa forest and the likes, and they cannot sit down for such, activity to happen here. And for some of them who are petty traders who come around the national park to do some business. This is a tourist attraction, so they have a lot of people visiting this place, and that is when they also come to do business. So they feel that this is not a facility that we should take for granted as a country, because it also fetches some huge revenue for the country, and they think that authorities need to sit up and make sure that this never happens, so that the forest will just be degraded.
Thomas, thank you so much for your time with us on the program. Thomas Khan is our Central Regional Correspondent speaking with us there. We're still staying on issues concerning mining, because as we take you to the Ahafo North region, the Ahafo North district of the Ashanti region, there appear to be a standoff between the task force of the Forestry Commission and some miners operating within the Ziri Forest Reserve. A shootout on Friday left 2 security men dead, with several others sustaining various degrees of injuries. This is a subject William Evanzinkum is following. We'll be joining him shortly for some update on the latest development there. But still in the Ashanti region, the family of missing Lands Commission staff, Rodalyn Amwa, has placed 100,000 Ghana cedi bounty for information that will lead to her whereabouts. The 32-year-old senior lands administrative officer has been missing since 2021. Her husband, Dr. Wilberforce Agri, a lecturer at the Petroleum Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, who is accused of kidnapping his wife, is on trial at the Kumasi High Court. A third witness was cross-examined by the Defense Counsel on Monday, and the process is expected to be completed in the next adjourned date, December 12, 2023. Well, the judge also granted a request by the Defense Counsel to release the vehicle of the accused, which has been impounded by the police as part of investigations. A mother of missing Lands Commission staff, Cecilia Obenewa Apia, who looked traumatized and clearly was traumatized after the court proceedings, appealed for more public support to help find her daughter. Ibrahim Abubakar is Ashanti Regional Correspondent, joining us for the rest of the story. Ibrahim, thank you for your time with us on the program. Talk to us about what we know and what will happen in court today.
Well, Crosby, that's exactly what you said. The third was cross-examined today. But, for the family now, they are beginning to lose hope, because for them, all that they want, they don't necessarily care about the court proceedings. They just want to see their daughter, whether dead or alive, because like you rightly mentioned, it's been over 2 years since she got missing. They've been coming to court every now and then, a fifth attaining, but they are still not getting any hope of seeing their daughter. So you could clearly see that the mother, now she was down-spirited, she was distraught, and she kept crying, appealing to the general public and assist her and get the whereabouts of her daughter. We engaged her just after the court proceedings.
We have put 100,000 Ghana cedis on Rhoda, that whoever finds her or whoever has knowledge or whoever knows where she has been kept, please, I am on my knees. It's my daughter I need. It's my daughter I need. It has been 2 years and over. It's not easy. It's not easy to bear with this situation. In fact, I need help. And the help is that wherever she is, who even was involved and in her kidnap, God should touch those people so that they give us information that will lead to wherever she has been kept. That is my case. It's my daughter I need, not the so many times of going to court. I need my daughter. And I promise, whoever comes to confide in us, we will not let that person out. If even you were involved in the act, please, it is 2 years now. So you should have a change of mind. Come and tell us, Rhoda, wherever you are.
Those were sounds from Cecilia Obenewa Apia, who is mother of the missing Lands Commission staff, wailing there. And after that is after placing 100,000 Ghana cedis bounty for information that will lead to the whereabouts of a daughter, Rhodaling Amwa, who is a 32-year-old senior lands administrative officer who has been missing since 2021. Well, still in the Ashanti region, and back to an earlier story about mining in the Hafuano North District of the Ashanti region, where there appears to be a standoff between the task force of the Forestry Commission and some miners operating within a forest reserve. A shootout on Friday left 2 security men dead, with several others sustaining injuries. William Evans Inkum following the story, joining us. Evans, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Bring us the backstory to this and what has been happening in this clash.
All right. So last Friday, we received an information to the effect that there have been some clashes within the Infinity or Subiso Infinity area, that is within the Desiri Forest Reserve. And this particular clash emanated when the rapid response team from the Forestry Commission actually clashed with some mining operators as far as that particular enclave is concerned. 2 people, we understand, were shot, but there was a shootout and they died. And these guys, I'm told, were security men guarding a firm there. A firm, as at this morning, we've been able to establish so that it was a community mining firm. But then why the Forestry Commission guards invaded that particular firm was an information to them that the firm was operating beyond its area of jurisdiction. That is to say they have invaded parts of the forest where they are not supposed to operate, depleting the forest belt. And that was the reason why the forestry response or the rapid response team from the Forestry Commission decided to act. But then nobody knows what really happened when they invaded that particular enclave. All that we know is that there was a shootout, and that particular shootout left 2 people dead. We cannot ascertain the veracity of claims that the police have been able to make any arrest, because as I've said, and we all know that when it comes to information flow from the police, now they are a bit economical. So there hasn't been any official statement from the police service.
But Evans, is there a threat of, if you like, a reprisal attack from any of the factions?
Well, that is what we are hearing, and that's the more reason why the Forestry Commission has decided to withdraw all their guards from the Desiri Forest Belt. So as I'm talking to you now, they've withdrawn all of them, and they're asking the police military to take positions and then ensure that that particular place is safe for future operations. So until that is done, they are not going to work within the forest.
Evans, thank you so much for your time with us in the program. William Evans Inkum joined us from the Ashanti region. You're still listening to midday, the midday bulletin here on 3FM 92.7. The bulletin is also live on all our social media platforms at 3FM 927. We're live too on 3news.com. Let's just run you through the stories that have been brought to you so far as part of our headlines this afternoon. We know that pressure is mounting on government to take a second look at the law allowing mining in forest reserves following revelation by the Minerals Commission that it has rejected a request to allow mining in the Kakum forest. Meanwhile, tension continues to mount between Forest Commission task force and illegal miners in the Desiree Forest Reserve. Let's bring you back here in the capital as we run to you the story. Over 300 private properties and 1,000 livelihoods, they are expected to be affected following an eviction notice and demolition threat issued to occupants of railway lands around Jowolo in the Ayawaso West Municipality in the Greater Accra region by the Ghana Railway Development Authority. Occupants of the area are not happy about the planned exercise and have vowed to resist any attempt to forcibly eject them from the land. My colleague Evelyn Tingma is following the story. Let's touch base with her for more on this. Evelyn, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at the program. The deadline for the evacuation was on September 30. What can you report?
Well, of course, we have been here around the Jowolo side and the whole Tamakuru stretch, and we have been speaking to some of the shop owners and residents here, and they are saying that indeed they received the eviction notice from authorities, but they made some follow-up. But apparently, it looks like the statement or the eviction notice is not coming from the Ghana Railway Authority. And of course, we are not ready to move, but I hope the assemblyman here, Honorable Adam received, he will just tell us a bit more about this particular situation. So now we are live on 3FM, so you have been given the eviction notice to vacate from this place. What are your plans?
Okay, well, thank you very much. First of all, it's an informed interview. I was just called by Asian Association to come and speak on their behalf. In fact, the issue we are hearing from on the social media, we are even surprised because it is an issue that we've had a meeting with the railway authorities, and they assured us that such a thing will not happen. Like there won't be any demolition because we met with the deputy director of railways, and then they told us that they have a plan for this. And then we also told them that we also have a plan for this. So whatever it is, we have to dialogue. And then they told us that they are having a meeting with us. And then later on, we went further to go and see the CEO himself. He also assured us that he doesn't know anything about what is even going on. But we should wait for his call. Until now, that the news detention is here. But one thing I want you to know is that we are not here as parties or something. A lot of people here have these documents concerning those railway lands. So with this issue of demolition, I don't know where the news is coming from. I'm even here with the resident association when we heard that your team has come here. So with the demolition issue, to me, I think it's going overboard because that's not what we discussed with them.
So it means that you are not moving from this place, you are not vacating from this place, if I get that sense.
No, we are not. Because we have documents to prove that we are supposed to be here. We have legal documents. We are not just like packets or anything. We will have given a document since 2001, 2000 or 1988 upwards. So eviction and then demolition like this, we don't understand. We already have a meeting with them after 2 weeks ago last week.
All right.
So we are expecting them to call us so that we come and have a dialogue with them.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable. So firstly, that was Honorable Adam Yusuf, he's the assembly member for the Roman Race area, and basically they are not ready to move from this particular place. Firstly.
Evelyn, thank you so much for that report. My colleague Evelyn Tingma brings us update on the latest concerning the planned demolition or evacuation by the Ghana Railway Development Authority to over 300 private properties and some 1,000 livelihoods expected to be affected following an eviction notice and demolishing threat issued to occupants of railway lands around Jowolo in the Ayawaso West Municipality of the Greater Accra region. Moving on, the Deputy Majority Leader has come under criticism over comments made in Parliament indicating that National Security Minister Albert Kanapa is no longer required to appear before the House to answer questions on the arrest of some Garu residents following an alleged attack on national security operatives. The residents were rounded up and taken into custody but subsequently released. MPs demanded that Albert Kanapa appears before the House to answer questions, but the comments from Alexander Hwenyomakin on Friday has angered the Garu and Zebila MPs, who said it is an abuse of parliamentary procedure. Albert Alazuga and Cletus Avaka insist the minister must appear in the House. They are also considering a legal suit against him.
The National Security Minister to come to the House. One, your reaction to this, and is this something you were expecting?
Yeah, thank you very much. To say the least, it's a very unfortunate statement. Excuse me, if that's my leader, but this is a very unfortunate statement in the sense that my call for the speaker to invite the minister to come and give an account or to come and calling for a probe into the matter was not about the arrest of the 8 people whom they brought to Accra. It was about the whole action, what the military went to Garu and Buguri and did. I mean, the beatings of the people, the maiming of the people, which resulted in someone losing his life. And so to say that because they have released them, the 8 people who were arrested, and therefore the matter is closed, is most unfortunate. I don't think somebody who is a lawyer by profession, somebody who has risen to the rank of deputy majority leader should talk like this. I feel very embarrassed to hear this. I don't think that Afanyo should be talking like this. So it's most unfortunate.
What is the majority leader?
Because they arrested people from those areas. He was to come and explain the scenario, the justification, the rationale, the circumstance that led to that operation, and then the consequences of the operation. He was come to explain that. He was not just limited to come and explain why he brought 8 people to Accra. So if the statement was made on the floor of the House and the request was made to the Speaker, and the Speaker ordered or ruled that the minister must come and then explain the issue to the House, it doesn't lie in the mouth of the Deputy Majority Leader to say that with the list of 8 people, the minister doesn't need to come again. It has gone beyond him. It is the Speaker who can then rule on the floor of the House. If he wants to make it, he should make another statement on the floor of the House to justify the request, and the Speaker will rule. And then contrary to what he said earlier. So as far as we are concerned, we think that it is important that the Minister for National Security comes to Parliament to explain the circumstances of the operation on the 29th of October 2029 involving Buguri, Garu, and then Timpani. On record, Buguri is about 15 kilometers from Garu. They did not take part in the.
You had my colleague Komlak Klute interacting with members of Parliament for Garu and Zabila there in relation to the alleged attack, brutalities meted out to residents of Garu in the part of the country. That's how we wrap up on the afternoon news here on 3FM 92.7. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. Thank you so much for staying with us. Business News is up next with Manua Phil. Good afternoon.
Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3FM.
We have proceeded Parliament. It has been laid before the House.
Hello, good afternoon. It's time now for Business Daily with me, Menu Afo. Coming up, Ghana Cocoa Board expects parliamentary approval to $800 million syndicated loan agreement this week. We'll hear from the board's head of public affairs.
We have proceeded to Parliament. It has been laid before the House for consideration, and after consideration and approval, we shall put the facility.
Also, interest rates on Treasury bills reduced marginally for the first time in 9 months, recording 25.7% oversubscription in the latest auction. Plus, ahead of the 2024 budget presentation, Ghana Real Estate Developers Association calls for reoperationalization of government home mortgage financing. Thank you so much for your time. We move straight to our first story. And the Ghana Cocoa Board expects approval from Parliament for the cocoa syndicated loan agreement for the 2023-2024 crop season later this week. This comes after reports of a delay in securing the $800 million from a syndicate of banks to finance cocoa purchases. Michael Ogbudu has the rest of the story. Out of the about 4 billion cedis worth of bids that were tendered, government accepted about 3.9 billion cedis, an oversubscription of about 798.91 million cedis against the target of about 3.105 billion cedis. Majority of the bids were from the short-term security, that is the 91-day bill. Bank of Ghana's latest auction results revealed that interest rates are now hovering around 33.4% from 33.7% previously. For the 91-day bill, interest rates went down to 29.84% from about 29.97%. For the
delay, Three Business gathers, is due to demands for a higher premium by these financial institutions because of the impact of the debt exchange program. The Cocoa Board had to restructure 7.7 billion cedis of its cocoa bills as part of the program, which has negatively impacted investor confidence. Public Affairs Manager at Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo, says his outfit has so far resorted to some interim measures to fund the purchase of cocoa beans.
We have not borrowed. What we have rather done is to sell non-collateralized cocoa for the financing of the crop. So if anybody comes out and put out a publication that Cocoa Board has borrowed X amount or Y amount without adducing evidence to support that claim, please disregard it.
He is, however, confident that major progress would be made with securing the loan later this week. He spoke in an interview last Friday.
Yesterday in Parliament, the Cocoa Board syndication was laid in the House. Our expectation is that next week, Parliament will consider it and give approval for us to raise it. So nothing has changed except that we are only considering our options and not relying only on the syndication as a way of using capital for our business.
Michael Obodu, Three Business, Accra.
Apologies for the earlier hitches. Now we move on to the Treasury bills because for the first time in about 9 months, interest rates on Treasury bills have reduced, although marginally, following an oversubscription of about 25.7% in the latest auction. The decline in rates, according to experts, are attributable to the anticipation of further reduction in inflation rate. The following Three Business News Desk reports has the details. Out of the about 4 billion cedis worth of bids that were tendered, government accepted about 3.9 billion cedis, an oversubscription of about 798.91 million cedis against the target of about 3.105 billion cedis. Majority of the bids were from the short-term security, that is the 91-day bill. Bank of Ghana's latest auction results revealed that interest rates are now hovering around 33.4% from 33.7% previously. For the 91-day bill, interest rates went down to 29.84% from about 29.97%. For the 182-day bill also, yields went down marginally to about 31.88% from 32.15% previously. The one-year bill also saw a marginal decline to 33.45% from 33.7%. Market watchers anticipate further decline in the rates as they keenly expect reduction in inflation rate in the coming months. And that was a 3 Business News Desk report on the latest Treasury bill auction results. Away from that, ahead of the 2024 budget to be presented by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association is requesting the government to review the country's home mortgage finance. Executive Secretary Sami Amegaibo expressed worry that application for home mortgage financing in the country is cumbersome, a situation which often deters applicants. He noted that banks are no longer getting enough funding to be invested in home mortgage.
The budget in the past 4 years or so does not seem to mention or make a specific pronouncement on any provision for housing delivery in Ghana. The last major intervention we had, or we remember, is the one that was made for the Ministry of Finance to do mortgage financing for public sector. And even that, it was meant for, it's a pilot, it was meant for a pilot program, and also restricted to the public sector only. And since then, we haven't heard anything. I think that intervention was very useful and very necessary, but unfortunately, it seems to have remained at pilot stage, and we don't seem to have heard anything. Even the banks that were engaged to disburse those funding, I think they disbursed this long ago. And some of them are still somehow managing to continue it in a way through their own means.
Samuel Amegaibo is Executive Secretary of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GREDA. Let's stay a while longer on the 2024 budget expectations as the Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Dr. Charles Nyaba, is calling on the government to restore tax waivers on agricultural inputs and equipment. The waivers, he believes, will help ease inflation in the 2024 fiscal year. According to him, high taxes on agricultural inputs contributed significantly to the high cost of food in the country in the 2023 fiscal year.
Because government itself, in its own wisdom, saw that agriculture is a critical area, there were some waivers. If you are bringing tractors, if you are bringing fertilizers, if you are bringing seeds, agrochemical, veterinary medication, there were waivers on import duties. Now all those waivers have been taken off. In most occasions, because of those waivers taken off, cost of inputs, the taxes alone, is more than the value of the inputs. So this led to most of the input prices actually doubling in 2023. And we all know the importance of agriculture sector. We are talking about inflation. We are talking about the depreciation of the currency. Okay, we are talking about import substitution, and agriculture played that role very well. So our expectations is that government will think twice and turn attention to agriculture, ensure that proper investment, proper budget is allocated to the agriculture sector.
You heard the voice of the Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Dr. Charles Nyaba. Also, Media General, Ghana's leading media company, has won the coveted Media Organization of the Year award at the prestigious Ghana Business Awards 2023. In addition, the company's group CEO, Beatrice Agyemang, was honored with the Distinguished Female CEO of the Year award. Media General's group's victory at the Ghana Business Awards is a testament to the company's commitment to providing high-quality content and innovative programming to its audiences. Speaking on the sidelines of the awards ceremony, Group CEO Beatrice Agyemang acknowledged the collective efforts of the Media General Group team.
Organization of the Year, and that goes to the General themselves, Media General.
Media General Group continues to deepen its roots in the media industry. At the 6th Ghana Business Awards, the Media General Group was recognized as the Media Organization of the Year. The group comprises TV3 Network Limited, Onua TV, Onua FM, Connect FM, Akoma FM, Adesa Productions Limited and its digital platforms. Its group CEO also secured top honors at the Safe Ghana Business Awards held under the theme The Role of Businesses in Promoting Tourism, Arts and Culture. Speaking on the sidelines of the award ceremony, Group CEO of Media General Group, Beatrice Agyemang, emphasized the dedication of the staff to excellence resulting in this achievement.
Yes, I'm very, very excited about this awards. It's a call of more excellence, high-level productions, high-level content from my team. I entreat us not to relent in our efforts. This goes to say that we are leaders in this space. Media is evolving at a very fast pace, and you can only stay relevant if you put out quality content.
She encouraged businesses to prioritize brand promotion as a pivotal element in their operations to reach significant milestones.
From where I sit, I noticed that lots of institutions, send invitations every year, every day, every week, asking for partnerships with no budgets. I realized that it is because a lot of them do not invest in marketing and promotion, which is very integral to the growth of their businesses. And so this is a challenge to CEOs in the coming year to commit budgets to marketing and promotion. Even as a media organization, we promote everything we do. That is the only way you can grow your brand.
The Safe Ghana Business Awards recognize excellence in various sectors, spotlighting Media General for its exceptional contributions in the media landscape. Media General Group was recently recognized as the CIMG Media and Marketing Oriented Organization of the Year 2022. Additionally, the group CEO was honored as the Emmy Africa Woman of the Year. These prestigious awards underscore Media General's continued commitment to excellence in its significant role in shaping the media landscape.
And that was Michael Ogbodu's report. That will be all for Business Daily. My name is Minwafo. Log on to 3news.com for more stories. My name is Minwafo. Black Rasta will be up with Urban Blend.